Harrison Johns will start in pole position alongside Connor McCarthy. Maximus Shields starts in third place alongside Christian Oblang, with Amy Frame and Sophie Pawsey on row 3. Seb Pereira starts 7th alongside Reese Knight. We'll be looking to make amends for that retirement in the opening heat. Thomas Wilkins starts alongside Owen Roberts, with Harry Roddis in P11. This one for me, in terms of Junior Pro Kart, is going to be the one to watch, because we've got 3 championship contenders in the top 4 in Connor McCarthy, Max Shields and Christian Oblang. All 3 of them won races at Fullbeck. That's the 74, the 76 and the 181. This one could be, if they all get through cleanly on this opening lap, and that is the important thing here at Whilton, is getting through cleanly. We've seen on some of the rolling start classes, this one shouldn't be quite as frantic because it's a standing start in Pro Kart, but this should be, as long as they can get round, and they get round cleanly, if they can get the break, that's what they need. They need to break away by a couple of kart lengths, because we know Max Shields, having dominated heat number 1, certainly has a lot of pace. Didn't have the look in the junior Rotax earlier on. The plug oiled up on the opening lap, and that's why he had no drive on the opening lap. We are gridded up fairly quickly. 5 seconds, and they point to the digi flag. The flag distinguishes, and we are away and racing. It's a good start then from the P2 berth on the outside. In fact, all of the 3 front runners that we were expecting to see have come through, and Amy Frame is backwards, and she gets stopped by the barriers. The throttle is down straight away, though, and in a cloud of dust, she goes back onto the circuit, as Sophie Pawsey and Seb Pereira have both made their way through into 4th and 5th place respectively. Pereira has half a move down the inside, and Reese Knight does manage to get round the first half of the lap this time. Leading the way, though, is the 74 machine of Connor McCarthy, with Max Shields and Christian Oblang behind the top 3. And Oblang has been left ever so slightly, but if this battle for the lead continues, as they decide to take 2 completely different lines round there, and the first one saw McCarthy carrying a lot more speed in, but then Shields, who was slightly more conservative on entry, managed to get that kart stopped, and then got on the power earlier and closed up the gap. He's a couple of kart lengths behind, so it's going to have to be a brave move down the inside, as Seb Pereira now, the half move in Ashby's on the previous lap, becomes a full move on Sophie Pawsey this time. Dives down the inside and up into 4th place. I wonder if Pawsey now can stick with Seb Pereira, who certainly has the pace to run at the front of this Junior Pro Kart class. Has proved that with numerous race victories throughout the country. One of them here at Whilton Mill, actually in another series over the winter. There's now McCarthy holding firm from Max Shields, although Shields, to be fair, hasn't had a real look at it. The 2 differing lines once again through the boot complex of corners, the left and then the 2 rights before pit bend. Certainly sees McCarthy move away, but then sees Shields close right up. We've got another transponder issue. Max Shields dropping all the way down, but he is right up on the back. It looks like we're not picking Christian Oblang up as well. We are, but he's currently showing as being transponder 5544 again in the top left corner. So we'll keep an eye on it as it is. We can see the top 5 is quite clearly McCarthy, Shields, Oblang, Pereira and Sophie Pawsey, as we have got a contact warning coming up for Reese Knight. He's in P7. As they bounce over the curb, Shields has a quick look behind, a drop of the head behind down the steering wheel to try and ease the airflow over the top of the car, although for the half a second that it was down there, I'm not sure it made too much of a difference. As they make their way over start-finish. Connor McCarthy driving superbly so far, not even had one look over his shoulder. He's just kept that kart going forwards as Shields stays within a kart length or 2 of the 74, and now positions the 181 down the inside. And they'll be side by side round Christmas corner, although the move not done in sufficient time. And McCarthy holds on, but those 2 battling will be good news for Christian Oblang and Seb Pereira behind. Oblang now was 1 second behind McCarthy in the previous lap. Shields showing us 1 lap down, but I think that's because he's just missed the timing loop here at Whilton. And Seb Pereira not too far back either. We saw his black suit and helmet flash through the screen. There he is. And it could be a case now of the top 4 being split by the best part of a second, rather than it being the being the 2 seconds that it was previously. Let's see if we can get the timing sorted this time round, although Shields is still on the back of McCarthy. Them two different lines, and McCarthy gets a little bit of snap oversteer through the crook corner, and now Max Shields is going to go down the inside into Christmas, and this time gets the job done, gets the 181 stopped, and moves up into the lead. McCarthy then in second, but now Christian Oblang right on the back, Seb Pereira as well, and we've got a 4-kart battle for the lead with 3 minutes plus 1 lap remaining in Junior Pro Kart Heat 2, and Max Shields looking to make it 2 wins from 2 races here in Junior Pro, but he's still got his work cut out. He had the pace in Heat number 1 to move away. Now he's going to have to defend unless he can find a little bit of respite with the rest of the pack battling for second place. No moves so far from second, third and fourth on each other, but as soon as they start battling, Shields will disappear off into the distance if they don't work together and continue to push forwards on Max Shields. He's already gained 2 or 3 kart lengths, and McCarthy feels the need to go defensive on Christian Oblang. Oblang takes a slightly different line. Could this open the door for Sebastian Pereira down the hill into Ashby's? He has half a look in the background there. Sophie Pawsey running a comfortable but lonely P5. She's got 3 seconds off this battle for the lead, and another 4 seconds back to the 7 of Owen Roberts. He's currently running in 6th place, 5th on timing, as Max Shields has shown in 11th, but he is actually out in the lead from Conor McCarthy, Christian Oblang and Sebastian Pereira. And this is where Shields is strongest, round the final corner, and you will move away by a couple of kart lengths through this complex of corners, round the Oblivion and then Crook, which is this right with the rumble strip on the outside, but then does seem to get closed up a little bit in the middle part of the circuit into the 2 double left-handers, which should give the rest of the pack still a little bit of confidence that they can close in on our race leader Max Shields. And they have stopped battling a little bit, have McCarthy, Oblang and Pereira, and you can see that that has brought them back onto the back of Max Shields. It's amazing what happens when these drivers work together rather than battling it out. And Shields loses a second, a 10th or 2 over the curbs into the left-hander of Ozier's, and then that curb on the outside. They're still nose to tail. They're going to come through. They may well get another 2 laps at this one. It's 52 seconds, and it's less than that in terms of lap time, so they might just get round in enough time to have a full 2 more laps at this at the end of this one. And Shields defends to the inside, and the 74 of McCarthy is off into the up the bank. Not only did he get the grass, but he almost went to say hello to our cameraman up there, just couldn't get the kart stopped. And now it's a 3-kart battle for the lead. Oblang taking up the battle in second place. Let's have a look at it again. He does get a good run out around the Fine Lady corner. Shield squeezes him to the inside, but then retakes his racing line, which he's allowed to do, and just runs out of time and breaks there, does Conor McCarthy. And goes up there, takes a drinks order from our cameraman, and returns back to the circuit. 3, 2, 1. Will they get over before the last lap board? It is last lap, although it was so close I don't think they'll have seen a board, but this is the last lap of this Whilton Mill International Circuit. The top 3 clear of everybody else, and Christian Oblang defends from Sebastian Pereira. He's allowed to go to the inside and then return to his normal racing line. Anything more than that, and he will run the risk of feeling the wrath of our clerk of the course and race director, because that was relayed to our drivers in the pre-meeting driver briefing, which was held this morning. You can move once to the inside to defend and then go back out onto your normal optimum racing line, which is what Shields did on the previous lap and what Oblang did this time round. Into the boot then for the final time, Max Shields, as Christian Oblang carries so much speed in there and almost tries to dive to the inside. Will have to settle for second place though. Max Shields, 2 from 2 in Junior Pro Kart, takes the checkered flag from Christian Oblang and Sebastian Pereira.